I think about the woman at the well. You don't know this story. In that culture, the well-respected women, the honorable women, they would come to the well early in the day when it's still cool, and they'd show up and they'd get their water, and they'd all come together and talk about whatever you ladies talk about, I don't know, like The Bachelor or whatever, at the well, and they'd get their water, and then they'd go back to the city with their water for their families for that day. And Jesus is by the well in the afternoon, in the heat of the day. And here comes this woman all alone, isolated, full of shame. She comes and draws water from the well, begins talking with Jesus. Question comes up about where her husband is. She says something that's like most of the way true. She's like, well, I don't have a husband. And Jesus is like, you're right, you don't have a husband because you had 5 husbands, and the dude you're living with right now ain't your husband. And she's like, oh, well, yeah, that's the whole truth. She got real with Jesus. And when she was willing to remove the facade, when she was willing to step out of the shame, it was then that she had an encounter with Jesus that took this woman who was too ashamed to be around the people in her city to run back to her city and say, you got to come meet this guy who told me everything I've ever done. That she became a preacher of the good news of Jesus, but it required her getting real. I think a lot of us would say we want an encounter with God, but still tell God what we think and never ask him what he thinks. See, you and I will never have the abundant life that Jesus came, lived, died, was buried, and rose again to give us if we can't get real.